All right, we're back here for Sunday Night Baseball. Sorry for the little delay there. I had to step out, pick up my son as in the right cape. Uh, didn't feel like he wanted to try to carry the show by himself, and I don't blame him because the first 40 minutes is that you just got me was probably not entertaining. So we got Greg the Greek on here joining us
How's
for
it
this part.
going?
Good for the second part of the game here. Yeah, it's just been a pretty wild game so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how, like, especially the way this Atlanta team can just pour on runs, crooked numbers.
Yeah, yeah. You know, is that okay? Yeah, but I like. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of. I mean, Hendricks was throwing a batting practice in that first inning, and then yeah, the Cubs got to come back. Yeah, I think this could be an interesting game. I think this. I don't think they're done scoring runs. Runs, that's for sure.
What do you think at this point? It's 6-3 Atlanta. They got a man on first. They look like they're going to try to attack on some. What do you think this game will end up being? Like around the final score, if you had to guess right now?
7-5, 8-5,
Sounds about
eight
right.
six. I think the way
Nine,
the ball.
9-6, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the way the ball's flying out here.
I agree. I think Atlanta should be able to hold them off, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. I mean, and the Cubs exploded yesterday. That was,
Yeah, I mean, I guess they must have known the Cubs were going to score some runs because I noticed after the first home run that the first batter of the game that the line was uh like minus 110, minus 115 Atlanta after they were up 1-0. I
mhm.
was like, I mean, I think Atlanta's going to win the game. I just think it's very telling when they don't like nudge the line that much, even though they were, I guess, what, plus 115 dogs to start the game.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was interesting.
So how's the rest of your day been? Piling up winners?
Yes and no. I had some. I got really hot at one point, even though I wasn't betting that much on some live betting. But man, holy crap, was I on the wrong side of some NBA stuff today? I had um I had the Pelicans, and I was about to cash it out for like 95% of the value, but I let it ride. And I also had the under on like
Oh,
multiple parlays, and I ended up getting both screwed on that overtime. And then
yeah,
I also had the over in the Brooklyn game, which was awful because it looked like it was going to go to overtime, and then Bam hits that shot,
right.
and
Yeah,
it looked like it was going to fly over the whole game until the end of the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Like they were hitting threes the whole game, and then all of a sudden it just slowed down for the last few minutes. But can't complain. All in all, still a decent weekend. So it could have been great, though. You know how it goes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Nick was on the Pelicans also in that game. Yeah, and then I saw the play, and I'm like, what? Where was where was uh where was
And
Lonzo going?
I mean, they just can't close games. I hit a bunch of props on the game because I liked Zion's points and
Hmm.
Randall's points, and I almost put money on Randall and Zion to score 30 plus. It was like plus 500. But I didn't. I should have though. It would have been a great. I mean, I would have been a lucky one because it would. I don't think it would have cashed without the OT, but would have been a nice one.
Yeah, yeah.
But uh, yeah, I'm trying to stick more to player props. I was gonna all. You know what I was gonna bet tonight on this game, and I didn't. Was Anthony Rizzo to Jacqueline. He already has two.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I hate when that happens. Yeah,
Yeah, the number just wasn't juicy enough. It was like plus 400 or something like that. I wanted like slightly more. He's a streaky hitter though, that Rizzer.
Yeah.
Very streaky. But yeah, this is a good game. I mean, I think Atlanta's gonna if they can just figure out their pitching a little bit. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're a team that can, you know, obviously they made runs the last couple of years, so we'll see what happens. Did you catch any of the other baseball games today? I caught a lot of the baseball today. It was a good day.
Uh, I was on the Dodgers. I caught the end of that game when I was doing this. The started this game.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I live bet. There was like a weird. There you go. Yeah, it was like a weird timing in the game where I got the Padres, and it just looked like, I mean, the Dodgers were just like due for a loss there. Their bullpen was a little taxed, I think, and it was almost like they weren't helping. They weren't helping them out too with the strike zone there at the end of the game. The
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Yeah. But it just seems to be like another one of those games all season. I mean, the whole thing, the bottom of the eighth, the Padres shouldn't have scored at all. That if Seager would have made the play to start the inning, you know, it's just that's how my baseball season seems to be going. I mean, like every weird play that's happened, I think I've been on the losing side. The other last week, Sox, Cleveland, extra innings or bottom of the ninth. It looked like Cleveland was getting ground. Taylor made double play, but the guy hit would have been a double play. The first baseman threw it off the back of the guy's base runner's helmet. You know, and those are the ones that I've been on those the wrong end of a ton of games this year. But it's a long season. Hopefully they even out sooner or later.
Yeah, I think like I wish I had like unlimited time and I could just watch baseball all day every day because baseball is such a sport where like there's an ebb and flow to it and like knowing players' tendencies over time
Mm-hmm.
and I mean like how I think like this. There's a big thing where I see a team and they're getting squeezed consistently, or maybe the borderline calls aren't going their way in a series, right? Um, a couple nights in a row, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of times I like to try to find, even if it's live, like in the next day, I try to like, perfect example was the Padres today. Previously, against the Dodgers, there was a couple, late in a couple of the earlier games in the series, they kind of shit the bed or got a little unlucky. And I like to come back on teams that I know that are good, that have the players that are kind of in those spots.
Mm-hmm.
I know Nick is very similar in the way that he likes to be contrarian and buck trends and stuff like that. It's a similar type of you know, strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but I've looked at some of the player props and stuff for in the NBA and played a few of those, but I've kind of sworn off the NBA until the playoffs. I I just like there's so much and you never know who's playing and it's just I'll just wait. I'll wait till the playoffs start and see what happens. I mean, Durant got hurt again today. Don't know how bad, but he got hurt again.
I know
So
I had some player props for him, and it's just like ridiculous. He's 2 for 2 from three. I need one more, and then he goes out of the game in like the first quarter. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah. He had he had 8 points, I think, in the first 4 minutes or the
Yeah,
4 minutes he played, and then he caught a knee.
I was on his three prep. It was at plus money
Yeah.
at 2.5. And he had like 3 and 4. He had 4 and 3 in his past 2 games since he'd come back. Um, and I was thinking, oh, they're going to lean on him today. He's going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to probably have to put up a lot of threes against a team with a huge down low presence, right? Going to
Hmm.
force you to put up a lot of threes. They did shoot a lot of threes, just he wasn't in the game. Shamming
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Really?
that was
Well,
disgusting. Disgusting. I should have just stuck with, and I should have just stuck with the props like Bam Adebayo props and stuff like that. I put a couple live bets on the under on this game just to have a sweat
on the what? On the
on the
under?
under. Yeah,
Under
50.
what?
I
15?
did two separate ones. I did the first 7 at 14.5, and then the full. You can still get it. The full game at 15.5, and then I also had one at on. These were just small wagers, but I also had one on the Cubs at under team total 6.5.
Yeah. Well, could be all right there.
Hmm. Could go either way. These next couple innings will be very important. But are you watching right now? Did you see that 1-1 strike right there that they just called?
I missed it,
Okay,
actually.
yeah. Well, like that, they didn't call that a strike earlier in the first inning and couple innings. Like, and that's the type of thing. Like, unless you're watching the game, you're gonna miss.
Right.
But like that too, that pitch right there, bottom of the zone. Like they were squeezing them in the first inning, and yeah, I mean, when the ball's blowing out or it's a juice ball or whatever it is, like, seems like they can put up a lot of runs easily. But when your pitcher's not getting squeezed, it makes it, you know,
Right.
makes it really like it's so hard for. I mean, it depends on the player and the situation and all that, but like, you know, depending on how much a particular pitcher is getting squeezed, right? Like, it definitely probably affects the batting average. What 10 to like 10 to like 100 to 200 points, like a 10 to 20% swing, I would say, on whether or not they'll get a hit, like legitimately. It probably is that much of a difference because the players know it. Like they can get a feel for it um, a lot of times, like as a game's going on. Like if how they have to defend the plate, like if they have to,
Right.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like if they have to swing at bullshit and stuff, and you know, unless you've watched baseball a long time, so you understand how important that stuff is. But
Yeah.
unless you actually played or you watched baseball for a very long time, you don't understand necessarily the impact of stuff like that.
Or then you get Angel Hernandez back there, and he doesn't even know what the strike. He doesn't
He's
even know what.
he's on the field here.
Uh,
He's not the home plate. I don't think. I think he's the second base umpire or something.
you never know what his strike zone is going to be inning from inning. That guy is terrible.
The worst, actually. He's actually the worst. But yeah, that's we can. You want to take a look at tomorrow's slate while we're sitting here? I think some of the lines are just starting to come out. I
All
was
right,
just
sure,
looking at them.
sure.
There's a really early game, which I'll be curious what your take is. And I was tempted to take him in both the games today, and I didn't. Uh, but it's the White Sox, Red Sox, and I was tempted to take the White Sox, and I didn't. Of course, they won both games.
Yeah.
But you have Uvalde pitching against Giolito, and I think this is a 9 inning game. They're not doing a 7 inning. I don't think it's a doubleheader, so it's just a really early start. I think 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What the?
I don't know why. It seems to be a Fenway game.
Yeah.
But
Is it a I don't know, some holiday tomorrow?
not that I know of.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah.
That's an interesting game to me. Like I know Giolito pitched. Didn't he pitch really well in his last outing?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he pitched really well in like his first outing, and then not so great, right, in his second, and then well
Right.
in his third. But he Uvalde's good too, right? How has he been? I think he's been pretty good this
It's
year this year.
Patriots Day tomorrow.
Oh, whatever the hell that is.
It's a holiday in Massachusetts and Delaware, I think.
They're freaking weird.
Maine and Massachusetts.
Effectively in each, with a total of 17.1 innings pitched, or 17 and a third, with 14 strikeouts, with only 4 walks. So 2 of those outings were at home, his best outings, um, against Baltimore and Tampa Bay, and the other one was a 7 inning doubleheader game. They won 3-2. Um, so he's 2-1 with a 2.0 ERA basically. Uh, as far as the matchup goes, uh, there's not a lot of at bats, but it does seem like they see him well. Moncada and Abreu have each a home run and very limited at bats against Uvalde. Um, as far as the other side on Giolito, because like honestly, like this is what I've been doing for a lot of the games. Like at least for my pre-game uh, wagers, like I rather just look at the two pitchers, look at the situation, like heading in, like how the team's been performing recently, that sort of thing, and just place a first five type
Mm-hmm.
of a wager, unless I'm really familiar and I've watched the team and I know like where they're at with their bullpen and stuff like that. Because honestly, like if you're really serious about some of these games, like um, unless you actually watch the teams on a consistent basis and you know how their bullpens are and stuff like that, like and if they're taxed, if their good guy isn't pitching tonight, that sort of thing. Um, it gets really tough sometimes, or you not tough,
Right.
but like you'll get really tilted when these teams blow leads.
Yeah. And I was just looking. It looks like the White Sox used their closer in both games today. So Hendrickson seemed to finally be pitching well. They 1 inning in each game. Second game, an inning with a strikeout. Just threw just threw 8 pitches. And then let's see the first game. First game, 1 inning, a hit, a strikeout, 16 pitches. So he threw 2 innings, 24 pitches today. I guess they could go back with him tomorrow if they wanted to. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about the White Sox this year. It's just their bullpen has been so inconsistent. I thought that was gonna be one of the best parts of their team this year, but it's just been very inconsistent. So, yeah, I kind of like what you're saying. Take the first 5 innings.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit easier from a pregame perspective to evaluate and like to make a judgment on. And I feel like over time, if you just did first fives and stuff like that, like uh, good example today would have been for me at least is a first uh, a couple different games, like a first five on Oakland, a first five on the Phillies with Nola pitching at home, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, it seems like right now for baseball, the teams that are cashing are it's kind of just like whoever's the teams that are like recently hot. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just kind of like it usually is the mini runs in baseball. Like that's what's been happening. Like you know, I saw a ridiculous stat that heading into this series, you know how Chicago had been hitting so poorly.
Yeah.
They had the Atlanta's pitching staff had a better batting average than the batting team for the Cubs heading
For the
into the
Cubs.
series. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Their pitchers had a better collective batting average than the batters for the Cubs did collectively.
Yeah. Yeah. The Cubs have been bad this year,
That's yeah.
except for yesterday, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't do you any good when you score them all in one day.
No. No.
So in this game tomorrow, Giolito's strikeout prop is going to be ridiculously high. The total set at 8, right?
I think. Yeah. The total set at 8.
See, like, I don't know. I with these pitchers, I and I I personally would lean the first 5 under.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And there's the other thing. So it's 11 o'clock start. So it's a 10 o'clock start for basically for body
Yeah,
wise for people from people from Chicago. So
it's
I
always
mean,
tricky too when it's like the first betting game on the board and everyone's betting it too. Like
yeah,
those games sometimes tend to have some weird outcomes, to say the least. But I still would say day game, these two pitchers. I would lean White Sox first 5. And then I would also lean uh, first 5 under. If you made me pick one, I would probably pick the under.
hmm I can see that. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go on that one.
Um, the only thing you'd be worried about is just like a couple guys getting on and then a home run.
I worry about that every year.
Yeah, it's always the big worry. This game's not going under, by the way. I think Acuna scored again in this game. He scored in 10 straight games. That would have been a good prop to ride, even though it was probably so juiced by the time for this game. But they get so, like, in a game like this where they get so many hits, Acuna is bound to get on base like at least a couple times.
Yeah, of course. And then, like you say, you just need somebody behind him to hit one out, and then easy run.
Just got to survive this inning. Do you hear what they're saying?
No,
This guy's trying to pitch to A-Rod that Anthony Rizzo would be a perfect fit for Yankee Stadium and the Yankees. I guess they're just talking about it because Jay Bruce retired. They're kind of in need.
Yeah. Yeah. He probably fit in good there. I don't know. I think out of the big four for Chicago, I think that's the one they'll probably try to keep for sure, even though they did lowball him.
Oh, wow. So when Acuna scored that run, I thought he did get hurt. They took him out of the game. I don't know how serious it is, but he definitely hurt himself a little bit.
Yeah. It looked like it was a thumb or something.
I think they said abdomen strain.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting games tomorrow. Please get this out. If he gets a hit here, I'm under screwed. .440 with the bases loaded. It's good. It's pretty good for a backup utility guy on your bench. So anything you like tomorrow? Did you look at some of the?
Kind of like, I don't know. I think that I'm not sure. I just don't like. I think the over under total's a little low. But I don't want to bet. I can't bet the over because I have to just be betting on the. Hopefully the Pens get torched. But I think that Woodruff Musgrove game could be the Padres Milwaukee game could be interesting.
Oh shoot! I forgot. I didn't even look at that matchup yet. That's who's pitching.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have.
Letdown spot. The over under for the first 5 is set at 4.
Well, it's 7 for the game, so
I would never play a 7 on a game like that. I would definitely play the first 5.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the chance of extra innings or bad bullpen.
Exactly. That would be it. You know, that's why I said I would have to play. If I played the total on that, I'd have to play the over for the game and hope it gets to the bullpens at some point.
I'm tempted to like start like when I like a first five if the number's good on the first because my one book offers me the first three and first 5 inning lines very early, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been really taking advantage of them because they offer them now, like right now when they drop the initial line, like I can get that look and I can get it at each variable line,
Right.
um, which is rare. Like even FanDuel and DraftKings, both of them don't drop first 5 lines until like usually like sometimes it won't be until like an hour before the game, but usually it'll be like early in the morning of the day of the games or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, that sort of thing. But yeah, they don't drop those lines. However, BetMGM does, and yeah, what I was gonna say is that I think it could be valuable to take first three and first five, like half a unit each. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And
Yeah.
split your wager or whatever. Um, because I've been noticing a lot of times that if a game's first five goes under, the first three almost always goes under as well. Like probably 70% of the time, something like that. It's for the same reason we were talking the other day when Legion and I were talking about this, about how like if a game goes over, both team totals tend to go over like
Right. Yeah.
almost 70% of the time, that sort of thing. It's the kind of the same thing except on the other side. Yeah, the Musgrove and I feel like that would be a really good spot for definitely say I would have to look at the numbers of the pitchers, but I definitely would want to look at that under as well. They're both pitching like absolutely lights out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Woodruff. I think it's Woodruff's been on fire lately.
And I think like Musgrove's last outing was like one of the best ever for not his last one, but his one before that.
The one before, yeah.
Yeah, 10 strikeouts in 9 innings, no hitter. Wait, it was a perfect game? It was a perfect game. Did you know that?
I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I thought it was just a no hitter. He threw a 10 strikeout perfect game against Texas on the 9th. But then he gave up 4 hits and 1 earned run and a home run and 2 walks in 4 innings pitched against Pittsburgh in a 5-1 loss. So let's see. Meanwhile, Woodruff has 17 innings pitched, given up 10 hits and 19 strikeouts. Wow. No home runs given up either. Yeah, both of these guys are averaging well over a K an inning. With Musgrove has 2 walks in 19 innings, and Woodruff has 3 walks in 17 innings. Okay. Musgrove has a .47 ERA and 2.2 for Woodruff. Like, I know it's early in the season, but how could you not take a first five under 4 runs?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Yeah, looking at that right now. They lock that one in. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just both pitchers have been pitched really well. I mean, yeah, I like those. I like those pitchers, but the high K rates also because that's the one thing the Cubs pitchers don't have. I mean they can just pitch. Guys like that can just pitch themselves out of a jam by just striking out a couple guys in a row, and that's it.
Yeah, and I'm a big like with baseball too. I think like you just kind of have to ride pitchers. You can't you can't go against certain types of pitchers and certain like especially in a season where they haven't been proven to be beaten yet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like it's just until they're proven that they're not going to be the Cy Young guy. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to go against people like that.
Hmm.
Because more times than not, they tend to follow their trend. I mean, there'll be a little bit of regression, obviously. They'll get whacked a game here or there, but uh, yeah, I would definitely say that those are two guys by the end of the year that are going to have really good years because they've been. Well, how did Musgrove do last year? He did great last year. Not great, but he did good.
Yeah, he pitched for the Pirates also, so.
Yeah, but I mean, he actually closed out the year in September in his last 5 outings with a 2.16 ERA. So
Hmm.
it wasn't like he was pitching poorly that end the year. Like he was pitching just like he is now. And Woodruff had a 3.05 ERA in 73 innings pitched last year with only 55 hits, which is really good, with 91 strikeouts on 18 walks. So he's doing the same thing he's been doing too. So, and they're in San Diego. Definitely like that under. How do the Mariners hit right-handers this year?
I'm not sure.
If they're pitching against Dustin May tomorrow, the total's 8. Um, I feel like with it, with the Dodgers being away, right? Dustin May on the mound, their bullpen's pretty taxed, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Like, I don't know. That's one that I would probably think maybe the over. There's a lot of different ways you can get to the over in a game like that. So you got Justice Sheffield on the mound, who has given up a home run in both of his 2 outings with 6 earned runs, 11 hits over 11 innings pitched. Played against the White Sox and the Orioles. None of the Dodgers have really ever faced him, but yeah,
Would you say the total was in there 8?
Yeah, I'm seeing an 8.
Okay.
I mean, they're playing the Mariners, right? So
Yeah.
that's a DH game, right?
Yep.
So, I think about that too. And personally, in my opinion, like, I think that park, like, think about it, you have the Dodgers getting the extra at bats, and I would rather have that park than Dodger Stadium, right, for a night game.
Right. Yep.
So that's what I'm kind of thinking, stuff like that. Um,
And looks like the last 10 games these two teams play that's gone over 8
really?
7 times, and 2 of the 3 times they did go over 8, they hit 7.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, right, you got the DH, right? Plus, like, in recent seasons, to your point, like, in recent seasons, man, the Seattle's been such an over team with the way that they'll hit and not have any pitching too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're. I was just about to check them out too for this year. Hold on. Mm, 8-3. Scoring too many runs, man.
Well,
Um,
and now I got something to look forward to.
I still
Yeah,
have,
I still have
oh my,
7-3.
oh my bad.
It's all right. It's all right.
These guys are just padding their stats, man. Freddie Freeman, these guys. All right, so all right, I finally found it. Here we go. That's another run. Triple. Okay, so this is good. Yeah, so far this season, Seattle is an over team again. They're 9-6-1 to the over, and Dodgers are 6-10 to the under. Uh, as far as the home and away, they're 5-3-1 to the over at home, and the Dodgers are 4-6 to the under away. Very interesting. The line seems like it uh, opened at 8, it went up to 8.5, and came back down to 8. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think I would want the over in that one.
Yeah, eight. I think I'd have to take the over in that one also. I mean, this the Dodgers can score 8, 9, 10 on their own. But if you can get the Seattle's pen, yeah. I mean, I just just at that number 8, I think that could easily go over. But the Dodgers have played. Like you said, the Dodgers have played more games to the under, but I've been on them once or twice, and like they won under, but that's only because the other team couldn't score. And the Dodgers put I think under 8 in one game or under 7.5, and the Dodgers put up 7.
Yeah.
You know,
And the Dodgers, you know how it is. They can score, 5 runs in one inning potentially, but their guys are gonna hit at some point too. You know,
yeah,
it, there's a lot of different ways that like when I bet an over, I like to have a lot of different ways that it can go over. And you think about it, it's like that type of game. Seattle could Dustin. There's no guarantee that Dustin May is gonna be lights out. Like I like what
yeah,
he's improved. I would say a lot, but you know how he is. Like he can get shaky with his control if
right,
they're
yeah,
calling a tight strike zone and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of different ways that game could go over. You can get it from the Dodgers or Seattle, and you getting the full at bats from the Dodgers and a tax bullpen from the Dodgers. So
yeah, and as you said, the DH. Well, you got one run off. You got one run off the board.
I think it's coming right in. I think it's coming right back in. No, at this point, I'm just hoping the Cubs don't score any runs. I'm okay if I lose the full game over. But I guess Rycape's not coming back, huh?
That doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so I like that. Those are some good totals, I think. Uh, One interesting one is the Cardinals against the Nationals. Jack Flattery's pitching against Joe Ross. Flattery used to be like one of those guys where like you'd see like a really low total and the Cardinals would be favored, but he hasn't been recently for them.
Right, yeah, yeah, he
So
hasn't.
you haven't seen that line like that for him and all, but I haven't watched enough of the Cardinal games to have a good feel for them, and uh, I definitely don't trust the Nationals though, as
Yeah,
they're very like inconsistent with their bats.
ex-
Remind me Yankees.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're. Yeah, well, I watched a few national games this year. I mean, yeah, sometimes they can look great, but then they'll follow a good game with a couple of bad ones. So yeah, just can't trust that offense. I mean, the Yankees. The Yankees are struggling. What are they now? Last place in the East. You a Yankees fan?
Oh yeah, not a good year for us though. That's for sure. Yeah, like I was looking at this Padres Brewers. I was looking deeper at some of their other lines in the game, and the first inning getting 0 runs is minus 150, which, like, I don't know if you ever look at those lines or take stock in those ever, but I can tell you that a minus 150 for a 0-run first is very, very juiced up. That's rare. Like, even in some of like DeGrom starts, you'll see like minus 130. So minus 150, that tells me I would definitely look at that first 5 or first 3 under for sure.
Yeah. I've already looked at that one and got it locked in.
You locked that in already?
Yeah.
I probably should. I'm gonna wait a second though. I wanna try to see if any other books come out with lines. Yeah, so my one book has 3.5 minus 109. So definitely would rather have 4 in the minus 120.
Yeah.
And then to the learn this first 5 for the Red Sox game. See, I can get 4.5 minus 120. That's a good number too. Look at this. You see this?
No.
Bases loaded.
Oh, yeah, well, they didn't score that run yet, though. The run's still on the board, off the board.
Oh, that's probably okay. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He tagged from first base. At first, the way it came off the bat, I thought it might have been gone. The way that the ball's been popping out. Yeah, so both of those NBA teams, right, that won today, the Heat and the Knicks.
Yeah.
The Knicks were like plus 900 with like, 2 minutes left, and the Heat were like plus 600 or something with like 4 minutes left or something like that. Both of them easy winners. Both of them won handedly in that. It's getting to that time of year where you can just arbitrage bet. Oh my gosh. Load them back up. I thought my first 7 under 14.5 was going to be good. I don't think so anymore.
No. Yeah. They get to call it an early night. Could be all over very soon. Who's pitching?
I have no
No,
idea.
nah, I don't know who he is.
All I know is this is about to be a 2-run double or 3-run double right here. Stuart Sink wins the RBC Heritage Classic.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, Grand Slam. Well,
No.
at least there won't be any sweating. Thought it was just gonna be a gapper, but he actually put it over the wall. Wow, unbelievable. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Well.
Well, you can get the live total now at 19 and a half.
I ain't touching anything on this. I ain't touching anything.
You see, it's, those juiced baseballs, man. You gotta watch out for them, man.
I, I, I didn't. They showed the flags in the first inning after Atlanta hit two or three of them out. I think the wind's blowing out.
Oh, they didn't even say. They didn't even say it was a lot, though. They were like, 3 or 4 miles per hour.
I looked at the weather report and it said that well, it was like gusts up to 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This when they showed the flags, they looked to be blowing pretty good.
Yeah, the juice baseball definitely helps, though,
I thought they were unjuicing it
I think they just like they keep a bag of juice balls just in case, you know
just
what
in
I
case.
mean? Yeah, but like they got like two that like they have been saying like a lot of pitchers have been saying that the grip is like the stitching's definitely different on the ball this year because it's easier to grip. Um, I think you've seen it like a lot of these players throw like harder than they've ever thrown.
Well, I mean, you don't have, but you have, you still got you still can. Man, I wouldn't be sweating it because this thing's gonna go over. Your full game over. Also, I think in due time. But
No, but I have the yeah. It's pretty much done now. Though I'm pretty much cooked.
all right, man. I think I'm gonna call the show over for right now. Uh, you guys, you guys gave out some good picks for tomorrow. Some early action that people hopefully cash some tickets early.
Yeah,
And
did some
all right,
homework. Have a
yep,
good one, man.
and then next we'll get this. We'll get hopefully we get everybody outside. We'll get this going again next Sunday with some more people on here. And
Yeah, we gotta get Nick on and the crew.
yeah, I'm hoping. He said earlier this week he'd be on, but
Yeah, I haven't been able to get him on a live show in like like forever.
yeah,
Be like, all right, that sounds
I,
good
I,
though.
I, I know he wants to. It's just something always comes up with his.
Yeah, I know.
It's when you got young kids, and something always seems to come up with him and his family.
I know he's
So
already doing a lot of other stuff
yeah,
too.
me, I just my kid just goes upstairs and gets on the computer. I just have to pick him up from work, and hopefully in a month I won't have to do that anymore either. So, but
Scary. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But all right, mate. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming on. I know, you got on a little late, but appreciate it. So it's always good talking to you and picking your brain and getting some good info out there. And hopefully, hopefully we can cash tickets early tomorrow and have a good day.
man, we'll do it again soon. Have a good night.
Yep,
Peace.
yep, yep. See ya.